everyone! Today I have a short tutorial. It's short because it's really simple and it's really quick, and I'm really sorry in advance about this chair. It's so squeaky, it's driving me nuts. So I've connected with a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the UK, and her name is Sam. She is here on YouTube under Poodle's Paper Crafts, and she makes the cutest little boxes and bags, and yeah, they're really, really cool. So I learned how to make a little treat bag from her, and you can use this for any occasion. I just wanted to show you guys how to make it. You can get out of like one whole 12 by 12 sheet of designer paper, or any paper that you have, 12 by 12. You can get 6 boxes out of the entire sheet. So what you would do is you would cut it 6 inches down the center, and then you would cut 4, and then you would cut 8, and that's going to give you 6 boxes. So you can do it with the designer series paper that's double-sided, or you can do it with cardstock, and then you can put a panel on the front. So I'm going to show you a couple that I did. This one I didn't use Stampin' Up! Paper. This is K & Company, and I have the pad right here. This is an old Valentine stack from a few years ago. It's a Terry Conrad, and it's just K & Company. So I pulled a bunch of sheets out of that, and I made 30 boxes. I'm going to make the last one right here with you on camera. And these are for Caleb's class, and the reason I didn't use my Stampin' Up! Paper for these is because the kids are just going to throw these in the trash, and I'd rather save that for somebody who wants to keep it. So this is what some of the papers look like. There's that one, that one, that one, and then just some little stripes. And I just put these together with my ATG gun. Like I said, I wasn't going to do anything extravagant because, you know, we're going to put the little treats in there. You're going to pinch the sides. I think we're going to staple them shut. And then, you know, the kids are just going to throw them away once they eat the candy. So the other one I did is I used some real red Stampin' Up! Textured cardstock. You can see the texture on there. And then I used a small piece of paper. This is from an 8.5 by 11 stack by Recollections. And it's just from this All Seasons. I believe they still have this. I've hardly used it. And I got this last year. So lots of cute different seasonal patterns in there. And I just picked out this one. But when I cut it, I flipped it to where the hearts were going to be upright instead of sideways. And my little panel piece, let me measure that, because we're going to put this one together. Well, I'll give you the measurements when we do that one. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to take our 6 by 4 inch piece of cardstock or designer series paper, whatever you're using. I do have a Stampin' Up! One I'm going to make with you too. So I'm just going to show you this one. And what you're going to do is you're going to score on the 6-inch side at 1, 2 3/4, 3 3/4, and then 5 1/2. Okay, so that's all you're scoring for this side. You're going to turn it this way, so the bottom, what is going to be the bottom of your bag. So if you're using hearts or stars or whatever that are in a certain direction, you want to make sure they're not upside down. So your bottom is going to be on one of the sides where your pattern paper is facing the right direction. So you're going to flip it over and you're going to score that at 1. So that's all of our scoring for that one. And then you're just going to fold along your score lines. You don't really have to use a bone folder for this. You can just crease it with your fingers. And then we're going to fold up the bottom piece here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see where I'm cutting. Now, right where this first set of score lines are, there's one here and one here. We're going to cut this little rectangle piece off. So I'm just going to grab my scissors. I'm just going to cut up to the score line and then this side. So I'm going to take that little piece off. So then the rest of our score lines look like that. Then you're just going to snip all the way up to the score line here in this spot, and this spot. So now it's going to look like that, where you've just clipped for your score lines. Now this little 1/2" flap here is where we're going to apply the adhesive, and like I said, I'm just using the ATG tape for these because the kids will end up throwing them away. So, but you would, if you want to give it to somebody who knows that they're going to keep it and it's going to last a little while, I would use score tape or the red sticky tape. So then you're going to flip it over, and this flap right here, the first large flap, is where you're going to put more adhesive. Couple strips. This is going to be the bottom of the box or bag. Okay, so then I'm going to flip it around, and I'm just going to fold this side in. And I'm going to fold this side in, but I'm going to hold on to this flap here with my thumb so it doesn't stick down. But then my sides are adhered together. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so then we have our sides together, and just kind of give it a good push right there. So then our bottom flap that has the adhesive over here, we're just going to tuck these parts in, and then that, and then the bottom. So there's the bottom. Then I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to kind of press on the inside of this so that it adheres really well. And then you'll see that you have a seam here. So your seam you want towards the back of your box, just to give it a prettier look. And then you're just gonna kind of, with your fingers on either side, you're gonna push in and then just pinch the top. And as you can see, it kind of will go into itself. And then you'll put your little candies in there and then staple it shut. You can make a little topper for these if you want, you know, that type of thing. One of the ones I did is I punched 2 little holes with my 1/4 inch side of my crocodile, and I just put a piece of ribbon and just tied it in a knot. So, you know, however you want to close it is up to you. So this one is done the exact same way, only you just do the cardstock and you put a little panel on the front. So I'm actually going to do that, but I'm going to do a Stampin' Up one. Let me grab this sheet. So I'm going to cut this. I'm using paper from a little stack that I just recently got in the clearance section, and it's called Scent with Love. And the colors in this one are Island Indigo, Pool Party Real Red, Calypso Coral, and then of course the Whisper White. These are what the little papers look like. This one, I cut this little element out right here, because that's what I'm going to use to decorate the front. It does have a polka dot on the back. So then we have some stripes. That's another one of those sheets. It's like ledger mailing paper. That on the back. Then there's that one with some little chevron stuff, and then some arrows. And this says by airmail, little chevron. And there's these little airplanes and hearts. And then on the back of that one, there's like a map. So really cute papers. Not necessarily Valentine's Day, but the little element I cut out, it's like a banner shape, and then I backed it with some Pool Party cardstock, and it just says sealed with a kiss. So I'm going to use that and do some faux stitching on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this little panel, and it is 1 5/8 by 2 7/8. So we're just going to cut this to 1 5/8. And 2 7/8. So just like that. I'm only cutting one piece because I'm only going to decorate the front of this one. I don't really want to decorate the back. So here's our scoring again. We're going to do 1, 2 3/8, or 2 3/4, I'm sorry, 2 3/4, 3 3/4, and then 5 1/2. And then you're going to turn it and do 1, and that's all the scoring for that one. So then you can see all the score lines. There you go. Now we're going to take out this little corner again. And this is the Real Red Coordinations cardstock. So then we're going to, I should have folded it first. So let's go ahead and crease this really quick. That way it'll be easier. Okay, so now we're going to finish just cutting the score lines. Okay, this one I'm going to use some score tape that I have. So on my little strip here, I'm not going to go all the way to the edge of that score line, but just before it. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do my bottom flap over here. Just with a couple pieces like that. So before I glue it together, I'm going to go ahead and adhere my panel piece. So I'm kind of going to assemble the box without sticking it down so I know which one is my front, and that's that panel right there. So with some ATG tape, I'm just going to go ahead and attach this little piece. Okay, so I'm just going to attach it here. Just like that. So then I have my little panel on there, and now I'm going to go ahead and peel the backing off my score tape. I'm going to fold this in and just line it up with that one. There we go. So there's the side. A piece of tape sticking out. And then for the bottom, just going to peel these little pieces off here. Just like that. And then we're going to stick that down. And then again, I'm going to take my bone folder and just give it a good rub on the bottom so I know that the adhesive is going to keep it all adhered together so it won't come apart. And then now I can just go ahead and pinch in my sides, or poke in my sides, and then just pinch the top, and then I have my little bag. So on the front of this one, I'm going to close this one together with some Island Indigo, but I don't want to tie it yet. I just tied the other one for an example. I'm going to have to take it off because I want to put the candy in here first and then tie it shut. So I'm going to be really anal and I'm going to mark where I'm going to punch my holes according to the center of the top of my bag. So I'm just going to get my little Tim Holtz ruler here and I'm going to center, put my fingers under here and I'm going to center my ruler and I'm going to go 1/4 of an inch and I'm going to mark one here and one here. And you guys don't have to do this part. I'm just really picky about the centering of my holes. It's kind of an OCD thing. So I'm just going to take my crocodile and going to punch the center of that little mark I made. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. So there's my little holes. So when I tie my ribbon, I have the little holes to poke through. And now for my little sealed with a kiss piece, I'm going to grab this is my real red marker and see if we can zoom in a little bit and I can show you guys. There's the holes. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do some faux stitching around my little piece. It's like frayed right there. So I'm going to do some faux stitching all the way around the little pool party color. Just to kind of tie in all these colors, and that gives it more of a defined look. So there we go with that. So just like that, super cute. And I'm gonna take, I just have these 1/2 inch square dimensionals. I'm gonna stick one on the back. And then I'm just going to angle that right down here. So when I tie my little bow, there's my little box or treat bag, and I will put some candy in there. So that is how, here's all the little different variations. And then here's the one with a double-sided paper, the one where the ribbon is actually tied on there. I haven't decorated any of these yet. I'm not going to decorate the ones for his class because I used the, not designer paper. I used pattern paper on these, but some of these I'm making for like my boys and people that I'm going to give them to that I know. So they'll be a little more decorated. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and make these little treat boxes. I give full credit to Sam over at Poodles Paper Crafts, and I will put her link in the description and you guys can go check out. She's really, really cute boxes and bags, seriously. I have been wanting to make a ton that she does, so you may see a few more tutorials just kind of copied from her over onto my channel, and I will link to my store. I don't know if this Scent with Love is still available in the clearance section, but you should totally check it out all the time because they do add things in there quite often, and you never know what's going to be in there, and they're fantastic deals. Other than that, all the coordinations, cardstock, and other designer series papers and everything are all listed, and the markers and ribbon and everything else. So go check it out, pick some up, make some little treat bags. And like I said, these don't just have to be for Valentine's Day. That's just what I'm making them for. But these would have been super cute for Christmas had I known about them or had she done them back then. But you know, it's something to look forward to, or like St. Patrick's Day, you know, lots of different holidays to do, you know, whatever you want. So that is it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!